This is the 2024 Dodge Hornet RT. Is it the better compact crossover option? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today, I'm at Hebert's Town & Country. I'm going to tell you all about this RT trim level of the Dodge Hornet. If you're looking for a plug-in hybrid compact crossover, this is a great option. Not only does it look great, it has plenty of horsepower. It has all-wheel drive and just a lot of things going for it that I think make it a great option to potentially consider. If you want to know more, there's a link down in the description of the video to the Hebert's Town & Country website. Let's start here on the front end with our LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. Your classic Dodge look on the front end is just a little bit smaller, as it should be. Now, the one thing that I'm a little surprised at here is what you don't have right here, which would be active air curtains, especially being a plug-in hybrid. It just seems like that should be there, but it's not. It's just one of those things. Not a big deal necessarily. By the way, the exterior color on this model is called Hot Tamale. I think that fits. And as I said, you have all-wheel drive. Let's talk about tire and wheel size. 225 on our width, 55 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. You'll have turn signal indicators built into your power adjustable heated side view mirrors. And you'll also have passive entry right here where you can walk up and push that button right there on the driver or passenger side and lock or unlock the vehicle, all four doors, as long as you have this remote with you and you can see what all is there. Lock, unlock, you can open and close your power hands-free tailgate, and remote start is right there. A very nice look with the body lines everywhere you look. You'll also find a nice large sunroof. There is your gloss black shark fin antenna, and we do have an exposed rear window wiper here. I don't think that's a big deal. We finished things off with the tail lights back here, the Hornet logo, and something else that I like back here is the fact that you have the dual exhaust outlets that are actually active. These are not faux exhaust outlets. Nice to have one on each side to balance things out. The big question to be answered here has to do with what's under the hood. Let's talk about that, because that's one of the things that could potentially make this the better compact crossover. And before we open the hood, there is one more thing I wanted to show you. This button right here, when the ignition is on, when you push that button, guess what? Power folding side view mirrors. Under the hood is the 1.3 liter turbocharged four-cylinder. Everything together puts out 288 horsepower and an impressive 383 pounds-feet of torque. Something that might be a bit of a surprise here is the fact that it is not mated to an eCVT. It is a 6-speed automatic transmission. You will find the active heat extractors here under the hood. That's nice to see. Kind of surprising, because you would think you would also have those active air curtains on the front end. Not necessarily a big deal. Now, how about numbers on your MPGs and MPGEs? On gasoline only, combined 29 miles per gallon city. You can see on electricity MPGEs, 77 miles per MPGE. That's good. You can also see the other numbers that we have here as far as that goes. 3.4 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven, or 44 kilowatt hours per every 100 miles. And something a little bit different here, most plug-in hybrid electric vehicles will have the charge port right here. I like what Dodge has done where it's actually here on the rear. So that works out just fine. That's where you're going to plug in. Now, you'll notice that I just opened that up. To open your gas door, to put gas in your vehicle, you're going to hold that button down. You'll hear the gas door pop open. And let's go around and take a look. Here's what we're going to have on this side. It is capless fuel fill, and you will find a total of 11.2 gallons of gas as far as your gas tank size. And when you walk up to the rear, you can just kick your foot right under the bumper right there, and guess what? The power hands-free tailgate will open. Now you can remove the cargo cover right here. That's going to help to maximize cargo capacity. You will find a little bit of space here underneath the floor as far as your storage capacity goes. We're going to have some lighting, and right here you'll have a 12-volt power outlet. Cargo capacity comes in at 22.9 up to a max 50.5 with the plug-in hybrid version of the Hornet or the RT trim level. You also have a pass-through right here, but that's not the only way you can take advantage of potential space. You can also lower the rear seats down to help also maximize cargo capacity. And last but not least, nothing unusual, but in case you didn't know it was here, you can either lock all 4 doors and close your power tailgate at the same time, or simply hit that button and close the tailgate by itself. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers will find. There's a decent amount of room here with the armrest. There is a little bit of a raised area right here, but it's not angled up, so that's nice. You can also use this area as an armrest too. If you're curious, the seat backs do not recline. So there's the answer to that question for those who might want to know. There's your panoramic sunroof. It does tilt and slide open. Obviously, you have a power shade that can be put in place to help reduce the sunlight coming into the interior and ultimately the heat, especially this time of the year. Fold down armrest with cup holders built in. We'll have the rear seat pockets on both seats. And we also have air conditioning vents right here. There's actually 2 of them. You know, it looks like 1. There are actually 2 there. You'll also find USB connectivity options. Now, what about space within the interior? Well, for leg space, it's not too bad. Just depends on where the seats are set. Head space, I'm 5'10". There's the answer to your question. And what about the sticker price? For those of you who are patient enough to make it to this point in the video instead of just asking in the comments what the sticker price is, $50,085. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you the information. Let's see what else you get for that price. You'll find seat memory here, a couple of different settings right here on the driver's side door. All of your typical controls. I already showed you what's here. You can control those power heated side view mirrors. You can obviously fold them in or unfold them, and controls for your windows and all that good stuff. You can lock those. Here's the control for your headlights and taillights. You can turn those on to automatic or whatever you want. That button that I think you saw earlier that lets you know that that's what you use to open your gas door. And a very nice look with the infotainment screen. Definitely a lot going on there. A lot of good information, very easy to deal with. Steering wheel mounted controls, and something that I wish far more vehicles had. I've been in high performance vehicles that don't have this. You've got not only the nice large shifter paddles, you can see how big those are. That is a big advantage. But I love the fact that when you turn the steering wheel, they stay in place instead of following the steering wheel. It just makes it easier to use those, at least in my opinion. Some of you may be able to handle that no problem without having them be affixed to the steering column. Yeah, it's one of those things. Everybody has their abilities, right? So here we go with our turn signal indicators and your front and rear window wipers. We also have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, so that's always good to know. And the infotainment screen. How about your rear view camera? That seems to have a nice, bright, clear image. That's always a good thing. You can see what else we have here. Quite a few different features. You can pair your smartphone, and you do have built-in navigation right here, if that will come up. I don't know if it will. There we go. Here is our built-in navigation, something that a lot of people ask about. So if that's something you're interested in, well, now you know. Try and get Comfort to come up there. A little slow, a little laggy, it seems. This is my first experience with this much ability to work with everything. You do have heated and ventilated seats. The last Hornet I did was actually at the New York Auto Show last year. So we had the remote today. So I get to find out a few things I didn't find out before. So you can adjust your climate there. You can also adjust it here. Something that I thought was very interesting is the fact that you can push down on the fan speed right there, but when you push up on this button for increasing the fan speed, it doesn't do anything. You have to push down on that too. I don't know, that just seems out of place to me, but that's just my personal opinion. So you have everything else here you would expect to have as far as your heated and ventilated seats, all that good stuff. A pretty easy system to learn and use. You're gonna have your button here to start and stop the engine. You can go into sport mode right there. Have a 12-volt power outlet right there, your USB options, and a wireless charging pad. Nice to see a conventional style shifter, easy to deal with. You can also use the shifter to go back and forth through your gears if you want to with that 6-speed transmission. There's your volume control, power parking brake, I should say. You can see some of the other features that are here. There's your cup holders. And it's probably hard to see just because it's kind of dark in here. But the center console is a lot deeper than you might expect. The driver and the passenger seats are also power adjustable. So pretty easy to deal with. You're gonna have your red contrast stitching up here with the interior, throughout the interior, and quite a bit of space within your glove box. Here is your upper console. I know everybody likes to see that. You can control quite a few things up there, including what I told you about earlier. I went ahead and closed the shade for the sunroof right there because it is rather warm today, so I'm going to try and keep that minimized as best as I can. Believe it or not, you can hear the fan speed. In fact, if I go back up here to comfort, it might sound kind of loud. That's actually the lowest setting. I dare not turn that off. And a couple of things to show you real quick before we go out on our test drive. Here's what you see when you start the engine. You can see the graphics that come up. There's your Hornet on the screen. It doesn't match the color of the Hornet, but you can see what is there. And then when you turn it off, there's what you're also going to see and hear. All right, here we go on our test drive. Let's see how it goes over the railroad tracks. A little bit on the noisy side, but not too bad. Ride quality is good. I'd say it's definitely acceptable. It may not be the smoothest riding vehicle on the road, but you know what? It has great handling capabilities. Being all-wheel drive sure doesn't hurt, and that gives you a lot of options, especially if you live somewhere where you're dealing with snow and ice, and you need a vehicle that's maybe a little higher off the ground, and you need that maximum traction capability. It will definitely handle that for you. Now, if you turn the sport mode button on, you push the button right down here, you can tell a little bit of a difference. It actually does a nice job of accelerating down the road and getting up to speed as you need it to. It's a lot of fun to drive, that's for sure. Great handling characteristics. In fact, I'd say out of all of the competitors that I've driven over the years, this has to have the tightest steering. It feels very sporty, very much high performance sports car like. That's always a good thing. So you would be very confident if you're having a bad day, for example, and you need to go out and drive spiritedly outside of the city where there's not a lot of traffic and blow off some steam. Well, you could do that and really enjoy the experience, that's for sure. Overall, I really enjoy driving this Hornet. This is my first experience in the Hornet, in fact. Get on it just a little bit here. Definitely a big surprise as to what the experience is like when you hit the pedal. Boy, I tell you what, we got up and we went. Not a problem. So I'm just gonna cruise on down the road right here. Pretty easy to see out of too, because of the fact that you have your side view mirrors, you have all the stuff that you have that help out with that blind spot information, blind spot monitoring. It'll let you know, it'll give you a warning if there's somebody in your blind spot. They'll definitely give you all the things that you need with your safety features that you expect to find as far as that goes, and very practical at the same time. So that's always a good thing to have with any vehicle if this is the right size for you. One thing that's interesting, I wish you could hear it, I don't think you can, is that the turn signal indicators and when you turn the hazard lights on just have a different sound to them than anything I've ever heard before. Just something that makes things unique. Okay, tell me what you think down in the comments about the 2024 Dodge Hornet RT. Is it the better compact crossover SUV option? I'm always curious to get your feedback. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Hebert's Town & Country here in Shreveport, Louisiana for loaning me this Hornet for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.